Some stories are told, others are survived. In April 2017, 11 men crossed the sea. They carried weapons, they carried a plan. They did not carry enough respect for what was waiting for them. This is the story of Bohol 2017, where Abu Sayyaf met the scout rangers, and only one side walked away. Bohol was supposed to be easy, a peaceful island, famous for its beaches, its chocolate hills, its tourists, not for war. But Abu Sayyaf had a plan. 11 fighters, 3 small bunker boats, launched from Sulu in the dark of night, headed north. Their target, foreign tourists. Their method, kidnap for ransom. They had done it before, in Samol, in Basilan, in Tawi-Tawi. They believed Bohol would be the same. A local guide was already waiting, someone who knew the land, someone who had already chosen a side. They slipped into Barangay Inabanga, undetected, or so they thought. The 47th Infantry Battalion had already been watching. 3 bunker, 11 men, confirmed. On April 11th, they moved. Lieutenant Saldua led his platoon into the barangay. Intelligence said 2 men were resting under a tarp. No visible weapons. Saldua made a decision. Bohol was peaceful. Civilians were everywhere. He didn't want a firefight in someone's backyard, so he didn't fire from a distance. He closed in. He wanted to be sure. He would never get the chance to be sure again. The first burst came without warning. Lieutenant Saldua, headshot, 1 tropper, down. The jungle erupted. The 47th fought back, but something was wrong. They fired into the kubo, into the tree line, into the mason. No response from the enemy. No screams, no retreat, nothing. Because what they didn't know, what no one knew yet, was that the ground itself had become a weapon. In 2013, a powerful earthquake struck Bohol. It left the earth cracked open, natural crevices, deep breaks in the ground, invisible to anyone who didn't know where to look. Abu Sayyaf had found them. They were fighting from underground. Bullets flew overhead. Grenades exploded above them. They stayed hidden. Still, patient. The 47th was running out of ammunition. Someone needed to call for help. Major Paul Richard Gobway was on his way to a briefing when his radio crackled. His PMA classmate was dead. His battalion needed reinforcement. Now, he turned around. He organized what he had. Basic load, no map, no time. They drove to where the PNP held the perimeter. Then there was no more road. They ran, 30 minutes through jungle, crossed a river on a makeshift raft, the sound of gunfire growing louder with every step. When he arrived, he found Lieutenant Saldua on the ground, a classmate, a brother, gone. Gobway didn't stop moving. He assessed the ground. Enemy 50 meters from the kubo. 3 sides covered. He gave his orders. 1 section to flank across the river. 1 platoon to reinforce the PNP line. 1 section, direct assault. He radioed command. "Sir, we're taking the kubo." They opened with M203 grenade launchers, 12 rounds, fired into the kubo, into the earth around it. The structure broke apart. Dust and smoke filled the air. Silence. No return fire. No movement. Gobway gave the signal. "Move forward. 2 soldiers from the 47th volunteered to lead. Brave men, experienced men, 10 meters forward. Then, shots. Both dropped. One, a headshot. Dead before he hit the ground. The second hit, unable to reach his rifle. Gobwe dropped flat. Fire was coming from everywhere. The maison, the sides, the front. The enemy was not in the kubo. They were in the ground. Then his radio man spoke quietly. Sir, andun siya. Gobwe looked, 20 meters away. A man crouched in a crevice, rifle raised, waiting. The same man who had just killed the lead scouts. He had let them come close. Then he fired. Gobwe moved, firing, cover to cover, coconut tree to coconut tree. He reached the crevice. His rifle clicked, empty. The enemy was still alive. They looked at each other. No more bullets, no more distance, no more orders. Only 2 men in a hole in the ground. In Bohol. What followed lasted seconds, but it felt like it had no end. Gobwe used his sling bag, his fists, his weight. The enemy fought back. Neither man ran. Then his radio man's voice cut through. Sir, mag-isa ka na lang diyan. Balik ka! Gobwe looked up. 3 more enemies were aiming directly at the crevice. He grabbed the enemy's rifle, and he ran back to his men. Command had been watching everything from the TCP feed. Sino yung nakikipag-away diyan? Ba't mag-isa siya? Yun ang CO namin. Reinforcements arrived. A tank followed. The pursuit did not stop. For weeks, scout rangers hunted through the jungles and shorelines of Bohol. By May 15, 2017, the operation was over. All 11 Abu Sayyaf fighters who entered Bohol were dead. And when intelligence confirmed the identity of the man in the crevice, the commander who had fought hand-to-hand with a scout ranger officer, it was Abu Rami, the commander of the entire group. Lieutenant Saldua was buried with full military honors, PMA class 2013. A classmate who became a soldier who became a ghost. Major Gobwe said only this, tapang-tapang ng mga to. Hindi sila dapat mamatay ng walang ganti. They were brave. They should not have died without being avenged. In Bohol 2017, they were. Subscribe for more stories where soldiers become legends and legends never disappear.